So you're calling in from Discord. You're on Twitch. You're from Norway, is that correct?
Yeah,
What part of
born and
Norway?
raised.
What part of Norway?
The West Coast.
West Coast.
It's a town called Ålesund.
Okay. Okay, is
Yep.
what's the population? How many people?
In my town,
Yeah.
let me check it out real quick. Hold on. It's about 45,000. Yeah.
45,000. So I think that's roughly the same. Let me see. I'm from a town outside of Austin, Texas. Maybe you're familiar with Austin as a place. Um, a lot of people.
Never been there.
Probably, yeah, I can understand that. Um, there's a lot of Twitch streamers in Austin. I'm trying to figure out what the population of my town is. So yeah, the town that I live in is 49,000. So roughly the same. What's the big city in Norway? Hello?
Hey, what happened? I couldn't hear you for a sec.
I don't know. I think maybe my computer's bugging out. Uh,
Oh, no
but
worries.
so I said my town's about the same size. What's the biggest
Dang.
city near you? Like what's a big city?
Near me,
Hmm.
I'd say it's Oslo, our
Oslo.
capital.
Right. So what are
I,
you into, man? How are you doing?
dude, I'm pretty good. Having a chill night, just browsing Twitch,
Cool.
looking for I don't like watching big streamers. There's only a few streamers I actually watch. I like watching like smaller streamers because they're more they talk more to their viewers and stuff
Yeah.
and with their chat. So
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoy just browsing.
That's one of that's one of the conversations I had yesterday with another streamer was that the platform, it's difficult to find engaging content now.
For sure. Yeah.
What got you into Twitch? Like why did you start watching Twitch?
Well, I started watching way back. Uh, about I didn't watch consistent, but I watched like a little here and there. It was
Mhm.
about let me think now, like 6 years ago.
Okay.
I was watching some League of Legends. I was really into that at that point, and then I got kind of bored of Twitch because it wasn't as good as it is now. So
Hmm.
I kind of jumped off for a second, and then I found. Are you familiar with Ludwig Ogren, the streamer?
No, I haven't. I've never watched it before. No.
I saw him on YouTube,
Okay.
and I really enjoy like the content he made on YouTube. So I was like, let me check out his streams, and they're really, really, really good. So I started watching Twitch again, watch
Hmm.
him a lot, and I just enjoy like browsing new channels and like seeing what's up with people. I mean, it's fun to engage with different types of people across the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So what type of streams does he do? League of Legend?
No, I've gotten off League. That game is super toxic, so I
Gotcha.
kind of stopped playing League. He's like a comedy streamer in a way. He used to be a Super Smash Melee commentator,
Okay.
and now he does like different types of stream. Plays Pokemon, um, Smash, does all this stuff. He's but mostly like comedy.
So a lot
So
of FGC
I,
stuff.
yeah,
Cool. Um,
so he
so that's what. So that's what you are on YouTube, and that's what brought you back to Twitch.
Yeah, pretty much. I actually think the combination between like YouTube and Twitch, like putting up highlights and stuff, really like helps you grow channels.
Yeah. Do you stream?
Because I really want to, but I live in I still live at home with my parents. I'm 18 now.
Okay.
Uh, and I'm planning on moving out when I finish high school. High school is a little different over in Norway, and as soon as I do that, I'm actually saving up money now, and so I want to buy a proper PC, you
Yeah.
know, a good mic, good camera. Try to keep. I don't want to start streaming until I have the right setup
Yeah.
because I feel like just like have like making money and like investing in that into something you enjoy doing
Mm-hmm.
is important. So I want to go kind of not all out, but I want to put good effort and good quality into the streams before I like actually start streaming. So
Yeah. I think I, in when I started streaming was 2015. Uh,
yeah,
and back then it was a little bit easier because I don't know. I did different things. I wasn't so focused on the quality or whatever, but um,
like,
I was just doing like streams from my PS4. Um,
yeah,
but then when I got into doing, you know, in 2000, I guess 17, IRL streaming started, becoming a thing.
yeah.
I was doing like Pokemon Go streaming, and so I did that for a while. Do you have Uber and Lyft in Norway?
No, but I've used a lot of it when I'm in like the US and stuff.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so I was driving for them for a while, so I could do like live streaming on Twitch, Pokemon Go, and I could also do like the driving and make some money both ways. So that was a lot of fun
Nice.
for a while, but then I stopped driving because like it was just taking a lot of it was doing a lot of damage to my car at the time, and so I got a regular job. Um,
Right.
I was doing porting at a Mercedes Benz dealership here, and
Wow.
that was fun for a while too. So I don't know. I just kind of do a lot of different things. Now what I do for work is I produce podcasts for different people in like an older demographic, not our demographic.
Right.
People who own like um, doctors' offices, health and wellness places, um, just like more
Yeah.
traditional type things. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah,
That's sick. I think it's important to try different stuff.
yeah,
So sounds like you have done a lot of different stuff.
yeah, for sure. What's it like being 18 in Norway?
Uh, to be honest, I don't really like uh my demographic in Norway.
Hmm.
Norway's really um there's a lot of I say people like to like think about money and get money a lot, and there's a lot of preppy kids, you know, fancy clothes and all that. I'm not all into that. I
Oh,
mean, so pretty much it's a lot of focus on like looking nice and stuff. So
yeah,
as to be 18 in Norway, it's not what I really want, but I mean it's fun. I got good friends,
yeah.
but I think it's a little too like preppy for my taste.
What's what is there to do? Like, what kind of things can you do? Like at 18, you can drink, right? In Norway.
Yes, you
So
can. There's a lot of parties and stuff. I try not to go to too many of them.
yeah.
Uh, I do enjoy partying with friends. But like going into town and going to like big like party like festivals and stuff, I'm not super into.
Gotcha. And so like, but aside from like how private house parties and stuff like that, is there any like activities to do? Like I don't know. Do you guys have like a local sports leagues or anything like that? Like what can you do with? Is there like a esports cafe? Is there anything like that around you or
Yeah.
what's it like?
Gaming is not that big in Norway, I'd say.
Oh really?
It's not that popular. I'd say I mean a lot of people do it, but it's not I mean the country hasn't like put gaming into how can I phrase this? They don't put gaming
It's not
as much
mainstream.
into like everyday life as they do in America, I'd say, or Japan.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but there's a lot of stuff to do. I mean, Norway's, you can think of Norway as like a smaller America in a way. We have
Mm-hmm.
rock climbing centers. You have soccer is really big in Norway. It's
Oh, cool.
huge. Everyone plays soccer when they're younger.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, and there's a lot of sports. I mean, the nature's great. So there's a lot of stuff doing. Like you can go skiing every winter. It's really beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Are you are you pretty smart for your for Norway, or like uh would you say you're like a pretty smart person from Norway compared to
I'd say
most people?
socially, I'd say I'm pretty smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel a lot older than my age just because I was raised that way
Okay.
by my parents.
Yeah.
But when it comes to school, I can get pretty lazy. I feel like a lot of time it's a waste of my time,
Mm-hmm.
just because I don't feel like I get that much out of it. Of course, like the basic skills I think are really important. But
Yeah.
when it comes to I think socially, if you're skilled socially, you'll get a lot farther than if you're skilled in like different areas.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I have a question about that. So like do you go to concerts or do you do any like anything like that? Or are there a lot of concerts in Norway?
In my town, yes,
Okay.
there's usually a few concerts every month, I'd
Mhm.
say, or maybe even more often. There's a lot of up and coming artists, and it's really like Norway really embraces like music,
Yeah.
especially like local musicians and stuff. So it's super easy if you're like an up and coming musician or you want to do music for you to like get a platform and start doing music full time. I think Nora's really good at that.
Uh what kind of hip do they do have hip hop or EDM or like what type of music is like do most people listen to your age in Norway?
My age, I'd say it's like house music, and
House
rap is really up and coming. I mean, that's pretty much everywhere though. I feel like rap is
for
pretty,
sure.
isn't it like the biggest genre right now?
Yeah, hip hop. Well, hip hop in general took overtook rock
Yeah,
on the most listened
yeah.
to music, and at least on
So
Billboard.
I'd say like, yeah, I'd say like, yeah, definitely hip hop and like house music and stuff like that.
Gotcha. And so like, who are some of your favorite artists, and who's came to your area, your hometown?
Uh, we have we have some pretty big artists, but we don't get that many like artists from different places of the world.
Mm-hmm.
They don't usually come, but we've had who was it? We've had Green Day come play in my town.
Mm-hmm.
We've had I think Travis Scott came in Oslo
Mm.
because Oslo has this really big festival with a lot of like modern music, like hip hop and stuff, and they get a lot of artists.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in my town, it's my town is like smaller
Yeah.
compared to theirs.
Yeah.
So we don't get that many like huge artists, but Norway, like Juice World and stuff, they come to Oslo every
Yeah.
so often.
What are your top five? Who are your top five hip hop artists right now?
Top five hip hop artists. I'd say Travis Scott number one.
Mm-hmm.
His music is just amazing. I think
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have one bad song. I'd say like Meek Mill,
Yeah.
Drake, obviously,
Yeah.
Nav.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy. I enjoy like Playboy Cardi and 21 Savage. I'd say
Yeah.
I can't really make a top five because it's so hard to pick because it all depends on when they came out with like the latest album. Because I feel like if an album comes out, I listen more to them than let's say an older album from a different artist.
Yeah. Who are some up and coming, or who are some established hip hop artists from Norway?
I think the biggest one we have, it's a duo. They call themselves Carpe, and they make a lot of really good music. I'll put it in. I'll type it in
Carpe,
chat.
Carpe.
Yeah,
Oh, Krarpe. Okay. And you've seen them before, or no?
yeah. They came to my town this year, this summer.
Cool.
I mean, last summer, yeah. So I got to see them. It was pretty. It was pretty cool.
Do they Did they have like an opening act or anything like that or?
They had there was a huge festival.
Oh, okay,
We
cool.
have one festival every year, every summer. It's called Yugen,
Eugen. Okay.
and it's like a huge festival. It's pretty much the biggest one in Norway every year,
Okay.
and they were the finishing act. So it was really cool to see them perform.
For sure. What else? What other cool things can you do in Norway? Um, do you uh do they play basketball in
I play
Norway?
basketball, yeah, but the basketball, let's say like society in Norway is really small.
Okay.
I don't think we've had a player in the NBA since like 1990 something, and he didn't even play a game. He got cut really early,
Mm.
but it's definitely growing though. My team is pretty small, but there's a lot of younger kids that started playing basketball, so it's definitely growing in Norway in general. And we
Mm-hmm.
have some areas are like pretty good, and they're scouted from colleges in the U.S. But it's really small. It's more focused on like soccer and stuff like that.
So what are relationships like in Norway? Do you like what how do guys like you get with girls and like what do y'all do to
Uh,
for fun
I'd
or
say
like to
it's really I'd say like relationships in Norway are really like fancy in a way. They act more grown up than what they are
okay.
a lot of the time. It's a lot of like going on dates and doing stuff with friends, going to parties together, and
Hmm.
usually I mean it's like normal teenage stuff. You get a girl, you usually talk to her on Snapchat, you hang out once or twice, and you kind of kick it off, you know?
Yeah. Do is online dating in Norway big?
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
And
I think
is it different? Like do you use Tinder or like what is in Norway? I don't know.
Tinder is not. I'd say Tinder is not used, especially around like my age. It's definitely used, but it's more used to get recognition and like approval from
Yeah.
people that you're good looking.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say dating is like a way people go to like to get actual relationships. Is more like a hookup thing.
Yeah.
I think mostly you find girls by going to like parties and stuff and meeting them.
Mhm.
Maybe get their phone number or Snapchat and just kick it up from there. I'd say.
Is TikTok big in Norway?
Oh yeah,
It's
but
big.
so we mostly make fun of it. We don't have like people actually trying for TikTok. I'd say it's more like a sarcastic thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can understand that. It's kind of that
Yeah,
way in here, but it's also kind of changing. Like I mean, a lot of people in high school now use it.
yeah,
So like in the big cities, like I would guess that in the town that I live in, the high school students maybe they're not so hip to TikTok, but I know when I talk to kids in the city, they're pretty much everyone's on it.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
I'm on it, but it's mostly like laugh at
yeah,
dumb jokes and stupid people.
yeah, for sure. Um, have you ever been to an esports festival or any gaming stuff?
No, I would love to go though. I'd love to go any like esport or like gaming
Is
related
there one
festival.
in Norway?
We have LANs where you get to
Land, yeah, yeah,
play
land.
competitive games with people. I've never been.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm I'm not really good at like competitive gaming.
Yeah,
I don't have the dedication to actually get like really good. I'd say I'm pretty average in most games, but I wouldn't say I don't think I could compete with the big dogs.
right. Um, yeah, I do. You know, DreamHack came to Texas, and they've moved
Right.
from Austin to Dallas now. But I'm pretty close knit with the DreamHack team that comes here to Austin or to Texas. So I've been now to two DreamHacks, and I've really enjoyed them. Uh, and I thought that they went to Norway, but I wasn't. I don't remember exactly. Um,
Yeah, might have.
uh, but they're extremely fun, and I was just wondering if you'd ever been to one.
Yeah, I'd love to go to one though. It's I'll definitely do it someday for sure.
Are there any like cultural holidays in Norway?
Yeah, we have like the usual ones like Christmas and stuff. I
Yeah,
don't think we have anything like besides what you guys have. Of
yeah,
course, we don't have like Thanksgiving and stuff.
right.
But yeah, I
Do you
think we have like the
celebrate like
usual
do you
ones.
celebrate Thanksgiving? Like I mean, it's become like kind of I don't know, like a different holiday. I mean,
Oh yeah,
some
for
people
sure.
celebrate it, for like the historical reasons, but now it's become
Yeah.
more of like a just a thankful for being alive, kind of like
Yeah, I
existing.
see where you're going for.
Yeah.
No, I lived in America for 1 year.
Oh,
Actually,
okay.
as a exchange student.
Yeah.
So I did celebrate Thanksgiving over there, and it was fun. It's a really like I really like the tradition
Yeah.
of bringing like all the family together.
Yeah. Where did you live in?
Nebraska.
Oh, okay. Cool. 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 Yeah, I've been up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, Nebraska. It's so different from Norway. It's like the
Yeah, I can
complete
imagine.
opposite.
Yeah. I don't know how slow it is in Norway, but I imagine Nebraska is like way slower than
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
can expect in Norway. Norway, it's not very big, but I'm sure that there's a lot of people in Norway. Like I'm sure you don't have any issue like when you go out you see somebody in Nebraska you might never see no one
Right.
for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, definitely. No, the year I spent in Nebraska was definitely like it was so different that I mean it went pretty fast in the start because it was a lot of new things.
Hmm.
But as soon as I started like getting used to the stuff and like getting in the rhythm and all that, it pretty much like slowed down completely. Days were a lot longer and yeah.
Mm. So yeah, man, I got a little bit to know you a bit more. What do you do like for creative? Do you make music or do anything like art or what do you do for fun?
For fun, I usually I'm into like advertisements and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's a possibility I want to do some in like advertising.
Marketing and advertising.
Uh, yeah. My dad works. He's like a tech guy. He works with
Okay.
like the companies like a social. He talks has huge presentations and stuff to get people in and all that. And I find that uh, for the future definitely.
So does he do does is it primarily like print and television or what is television like in Norway?
It's definitely going down for my demographic for sure,
Yeah.
because of like YouTube and all that. But I'd say it's a lot like America with like comedy and reality shows and stuff like that. And like uh you guys have like the Americans Got Talent and stuff. We have the Norwegian version. It's a we have a lot of like American shows that's been Norwegianized. So I don't watch a lot of television though.
I don't even uh yeah, TV is I don't know. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's a dying thing, I'd say.
yeah, I think it's kind of changing definitely for here like I we have Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu is like where I watch whatever you want to call regular TV, but so
Right.
is that what
Yeah.
your dad does like make advertisement for TV or like just social media or like how to
Mostly social media. Yeah.
really okay cool he's it's like that's sort of what I do. I mean, I manage a couple of different social media accounts, but I don't do too much of the
Right.
social ad spend or like money being spent on advertising. But
Yeah.
do you follow Gary Vee?
Yeah, I do.
Is like would you say like that's the type of stuff your dad does?
Um, I'd say not like the speaking part with like the where he like talks to people and like trying to get him going in the right direction. I wouldn't say that, but in a way, like he's managing his company for in like the advertising business. I'd say that's pretty much what he does.
Cool.
And he's like he pretty much like tried to expand the company as much as he can.
Yeah. And so like what? So once you graduate, so you got like a year left from high school.
I have to finish this year and then I have another year. Usually it's
Oh,
this would be my last year, but I'm doing like a sports thing for high school. So instead of it
okay.
being 3 years as it usually is, it's four. But the classes I have, they're kind of spread wider apart. So I
Yeah.
have more free time to do like workouts and stuff.
Oh, okay. And
So it's a lot more comfortable, I'd say.
what what happens after you graduate from high school? Do you have to do a year in the military or anything like that?
It's optional, yeah.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure if I want to do it.
Okay.
Right now I have my mind set on possibly being becoming a helicopter pilot.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of what I want to do. I've thought about the military road
Yeah.
and doing military,
Yeah.
but it's 5 years, and
Oh,
I'm
five
not
years.
sure if I
Okay.
want to like spend 5 years of my life in the military. I
Yeah.
think it's valuable time not spent like the right way. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking about moving to America and doing a going to like a private helicopter thing. That's my plan right now.
Mhm.
And then trying to like match that up with like streaming as soon as I get over there.
Yeah, that's actually a really good space right now. Because of like Uber helicopter in New York, and they started.
Yeah,
Um, there's also another company called Copter, so they're looking for a lot of people uh, right now. In this time, I mean, we're probably like I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years before we can see the first autonomous helicopter, but maybe even
right.
like 50 years. I don't know, you know, until people are comfortable.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Autonomous helicopter.
I think I read somewhere that the need for pilots is pretty big right now.
Yeah.
So like getting an opportunity as a pilot is it's yeah, you have big chances of doing a a lot of good work. And it's a I mean it's a fun job. It's pretty exciting. It's not as much like sitting down doing stuff. It's more like getting out there and doing stuff. And you can do like so many different things. You can do police, you can do all like private everything. Yeah, it's really cool.
What where would you want to move if so do you have are you also thinking about going to cuz you mentioned might want to do advertising going to
Yeah.
school?
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
There is actually some helicopter school that combines business,
Yeah.
where you do business classes
Oh,
with
okay.
normal piloting stuff. So that's definitely an option, just to like expand my knowledge in a way.
Yeah. What I don't know is like school paid for in Norway? Do they automatically pay for
Yeah,
secondary
we pay a
education?
lot of taxes though,
Yeah.
but we do have free health care until you're like 18, like free dental work, free school, all this stuff. But we pay around like 38% taxes or something. That's like the average, I think.
38% of your income goes to taxes?
Yeah, something like that.
Hmm. What
I don't know if that's right though.
what happens after you're 18 with the healthcare?
With healthcare, it's paid for in some places, like if you have surgeries and stuff. But I mean, it's a lot cheaper.
Okay.
First of all,
Yeah.
so it becomes a lot cheaper. It's not paid for like 100%.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot cheaper. As like if you need an ambulance, I think it's about $30.
Yeah.
So it's I'd say yeah, it's a lot cheaper. So it feels really nice.
Is Norway part of the European Union?
Partly. We give them we have like a deal where we're not in the EU,
Okay.
but we get to use their market,
Yeah.
and we get to bring up stuff, but we don't have to like go by their rules and use uh euros and stuff like that.
Yeah. Gotcha. So you use uh what do you use euros or do you have euros? Like how often do you spend a euro or like how does that work?
Our currency is called Norwegian kroners.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say
So
crowns, but I didn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
kroners. Okay.
I think most Scandinavian countries use their own currency except like
Okay.
no, I think all the European countries use their own currency.
Okay. And so what? Where was I going with this? Forgot. Um, what do you think is what do you think the like most pressing issue is for Norway?
Most pressing issue.
Like what do you think needs to
I'd say mental care,
really?
definitely. Yeah. It's because Norway's is ranked pretty high on like the happiness scale.
Oh, really?
I think we're one of like the top 10 happiest countries in the world. But I've with the whole because money is a big thing in Norway, as I said. So I'd
Yeah.
say like the focus on like having the right type of clothes, like dressing nice and
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. It's mentally stressing.
Yeah. Stressful.
And I think my generation is a lot more depressed, I'd
Mm.
say, than uh, the other generations. So I think mental care for like younger people, because I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, Norway doesn't have that many problems.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, we have a great economy. We have oil that we spend like wisely, so the future generations also have oil they can spend. We also have a huge fishing business,
Mm-hmm.
which makes a lot of money. So Norway doesn't really have that many problems, but it's definitely not perfect, you know.
What is rich? But in
In Norway,
yeah, in Norway, what does that mean?
uh, rich in Norway, I wouldn't say no one really. I would rich in Norway is probably pretty rich, but I wouldn't say it's like crazy rich, like the really rich Americans, like the big business owners and stuff.
Yeah.
We definitely don't have people like that. I mean, we have someone that obviously makes a crap ton of money, but I wouldn't say rich. Uh, that's a good question actually, because I mean most Norwegian families make a good amount of money.
Yeah. Is
So
is like is fashion the same in Norway as in America or is it different?
uh
Cuz you
I
mentioned
would
it
I
being
no it's I think fashion in Norway is a there's a whole bunch of brands, and it's really like high tier fashion,
okay.
like
Designer
Supreme,
stuff.
designer stuff. Yes, definitely. Like I have friends, good friends of mine, that they did like this betting thing. They betted on soccer games, and they got really lucky. They made a lot of money really fast,
Yeah.
and it kind of pissed me off how they spent it. It was like to buy spent like I'm gonna put this in dollars, like $900 clothes when they made about like 1,005 or maybe like $1,700
Yeah.
in betting, and they spend half of it on money. I'm like, you could have invested that or saved up, and you
Yeah.
could have been set for like when you move out or you trying to get an apartment or stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What's the exchange rate for you crones to USD?
uh, let me check actually. Uh, one kroner is about 11 cents.
1 kroner,
Let's say 10
11 cents.
kroners is about a dollar, $1 and 1 cent, or $1.10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just a different system. Uh,
Yeah.
do you have Wait, are that is kroners? Uh are those paper money or metal
Yeah, we also have coins. We still
coins?
use
Yeah,
coins for some reason.
and
But most people don't go around with cash nowadays. It's mostly like credit cards
yeah,
and
credit
debit
cards and
cards and
debit
stuff like
cards,
that.
right? Hmm.
Tell me about Texas. I want to know more about Texas. How's
Sure,
Texas?
sure. So Texas, like today is pretty good day to be honest. Outside, it's looking good. It feels good outside. Um,
Yeah,
but the past couple of days, it's just been kind of humid and kind of not good weather for just kind of sweaty, like nasty.
yeah.
Um,
Does it get cold in Texas?
it can get cold, but most of the time it's just kind of like still air, no movement.
Right.
It's kind of a little bit hot, um,
Yeah.
and humid. Um, like relative to what where you live, I think I'm in a smaller town. It we're getting we're getting more stores, so
Right.
new shopping malls and stuff like that. So there's more stuff to do. But when I was
Yeah.
growing up here, uh, it was kind of it was like nothing to do. Um, it was there was like do you guys have drive-in uh like drive-ins? Do you have that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
So maybe
Like
in
like
Nebraska they had Sonic,
drive-ins in
Sonic
what
or
sense? Oh
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's like a food place, but you just like you drive in, you park your car, and you get
Yeah.
food. Um, so like you'd hang out at that, or like you'd in Texas. I don't know if they do this in Norway, but um, we would have like bonfires. So like if a friend or some I think one time maybe I did it at my house, but you go out to some out in the countryside and you like burn some wood. You
Yeah.
hang out like you hang out. Sometimes you drink. Sometimes you roast s'mores. It's like I mean it's kind of
Right.
you know I don't know. That's the kind of thing. Playing sports, football is definitely like the biggest sport. American football. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and then I think second maybe. Well, now it probably is soccer. It used to be baseball, but
yeah.
I think soccer is probably bigger now because there's just a bigger Latino population um,
Gotcha.
where I live.
Doesn't Texas have a really good basketball team, a college team too?
Yeah, the University of Texas has a pretty good basketball team. Not the best, but um, oh, Texas Tech is also pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, then who else is what else? What else? I guess esports is actually becoming pretty big in Texas. Um, they built a stadium
Sick.
in Dallas, the Arlington Esports Arena, and
Yeah.
that place is our arena Arlington, or I can't remember how it goes, but our esports stadium Arlington, something like that. Um,
Damn.
so there's a lot of esports going on. Music is super big in Austin, like live music. So
Right.
that's why I was asking you these questions, is like trying to figure out exactly like if it's similar or
Gotcha.
not, or if it's maybe somewhere you'd like
Yeah.
to live if they do helicopter stuff here. I don't know.
They probably I think they do helicopter stuff in mostly every state.
Yeah, but I think there's probably more opportunity like in New York or
Yeah.
San Francisco, somewhere like there to get like
Right. Yeah.
more jobs or whatever. They don't really do like you can get like here for helicopters like you can go on like hunts and like you can like fire big machine guns at like hogs
Yeah.
because there's an overpopulation of hogs or wild boar in Texas. So like so you can get on So you can have a helicopter like a giant like I say this is hilarious. Like a Black Hawk helicopter and
Right.
like a huge gigantic machine gun on the outside of it, and you can just like go and uh,
Fuck,
tear into some boar. Uh, but that's the
that's
that's
crazy.
like the TV movie version.
Yeah, like Rambo stuff.
Yeah, like Rambo for sure, and like that's Texas. That's the best way to like explain Texas is like it's such a big place, like
Uh-huh.
that like some things are still like acceptable, like culturally acceptable. Um
Gotcha. Gotcha.
versus like you're never going to be able to do that in New York or San Francisco,
Yeah.
you know. I think that what else is like I mean, barbecue is a big thing here in Texas. Uh, you know, I don't know. Yeah, what kind of, like, does Norway have barbecue? I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely not as big as in like the more like the South states, the
Yeah, South
states
States,
down
yeah.
south. It's we do barbecue though in the summer. But
Oh, but
it's definitely not as
you
big.
guys do, you guys have, like, you put the food into, like, the ground, right? Or, like, into
Yeah,
things and then it kind of,
sometimes, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's a really like old school thing, but
yeah,
I've tried it before with like potatoes and stuff, and it's yeah, it's really good actually.
yeah. We don't have that. I mean, I guess, but not to the same effect that you guys have it.
Yeah,
We have like that anything like that. We kind of have these like outdoor pizza cookers and stuff like that. Like people cook,
oh yeah, like the stone ovens.
yeah, stone ovens and stuff like that. We kind of have that,
Yeah,
but it's not like the stuff that Norway does. I always kind of admire that. Um,
yeah,
I think what else is kind of cool about Texas? The Dallas Cowboys, obviously, super cool. That's like
obviously.
international stuff.
Yeah.
Um, when I was growing up, there's a museum, a pretty cool museum with like an I don't know if you know what IMAX is, but
IMAX.
IMAX it's like a really really large high definition movie theater, but they play like I don't know, they only play like certain movies like I guess like Avatar or like super
Gotcha.
you know
Like high tier
high
films.
tier films, yeah, and
Yeah.
like
Gotcha.
that was one of the things that you do. Hmm. Like there's a bunch of things.
Texas sounds cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things to do. Like Top
Yeah.
Golf. I don't know if you know what that is.
I've
Um,
seen it. I really want to try it someday.
and then they have these smaller things like these virtual batting cages, and they have this thing now that where you throw axes, kind of like they probably have that in Norway too. But you like throw axes at like kind of a dartboard. It's like
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it
yeah,
some places in Norway, but not in my town. I don't think we have that.
yeah. I mean, that sort of stuff is really popular here in Texas. I don't know how popular it is
Yeah,
throughout the United States, but that's really
I can
popular.
imagine. Yeah.
And archery too. Archery is really popular. Um,
Like for hunting or just
just
like
like
hobby.
just like well, guns are really popular too. Yeah, I mean like just anything to
Yeah.
do with like hunting, like anything, like whether you're actually hunting or like you're in the firing range, man. That stuff is like everywhere you go here. Like there's
Yeah.
in Texas, like I could like walk out of my house, and my neighborhood is I don't know, not too far from downtown or the city center where I live, but closer than the city center is a gun shop. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
like I can before I can get to the bank, I can get a gun. You know what I mean? Like that's how
Yeah.
it is, and that's
Yeah.
like
Guns are
way easier.
Guns are not big in Norway.
No, I
We
would
have
imagine not
really
so much.
strict gun laws. So
Yeah, I don't know how easy. Like, I'm, my parents own guns. Like other people own guns that I know, but I don't personally own
yeah,
any guns. But I just, you know, I think it might be because like I don't have any like interest in going to the shooting range or
gotcha.
like doing anything like that. I
Yeah,
like esports, like uh, I'd
right.
I'd
Yeah,
rather go spend that money on like a nice computer or like a camera or something like that rather than a firearm or something like that. But
right.
they just built a big gun store, really like a super store in my town, and like the guns now are like I was looking at the the ad that they sent and I was like, okay, so $600 for a handgun or whatever. But I don't even know.
That's crazy.
You have to have a license to own a gun. But I don't know how easy it is to do that. Uh,
Yeah,
I just
and they
don't.
do
I
like
don't even
background checks
know.
and stuff, right?
Yeah, they do that, but like, so there's ways around that too, like because guns are also collectibles in in the U.S. So like some guns you don't have to have a license for, but um, but generally speaking, you need to have like some form of uh, some form of background check. At least you can't buy it from
Yeah,
like I don't know a superstore without a background check.
gotcha.
But I think that's the same way for about anything though. Like
Yeah,
you can't buy you can't buy like pharmaceutical drugs on the street. You have to have a prescription, but people still
true,
do it.
true.
Like um,
Yeah.
so so everything's like kind of like that, and I'm sure like Norway is kind of like that as well, but probably a little bit more difficult, at least for the
Oh yeah.
guns. Um,
Oh yeah. No, I think the only way you can have a pistol in your house is if you're part of like a team, like
yeah.
a like you do competitions,
Oh,
and
okay.
if
Yeah.
you don't do competitions in a long time, they can actually take your gun,
Yeah. That
and
makes sense.
you're not to do any like normal rifles, automatic weapons,
Yeah.
shotguns. You won't see any of that. You can have a hunting rifle, but you have to go through different tests to see that you can actually like use it properly, and you
Yeah.
have to have a license and all this stuff, and it's pretty expensive.
Do if you serve in the military, do you get the license or like how does that work?
Uh, I think so. I think yeah, I do think so.
Do are your police armed or are they not armed?
That's funny you ask actually, because back in the day, the police weren't armed at all, like no guns.
Yeah.
But because of like the terrorist attacks that's been happening around the world lately, they actually have guns in their car locked up, but
Yeah.
they don't wear guns anywhere they go. So if something happens, they could go to the gun to the no to the car and
Yeah.
get their gun.
Yeah, that
But
makes
this
sense.
does like
I
hold
mean,
like yeah.
I don't know what the mortality rate for guns is in Norway, but I assume that that's the risk that they take. Um,
Yeah.
but generally, I think like you said, Norway seems to be pretty happy, safe place.
Yeah. So yeah,
Anything
no.
else about Texas that makes sense? That makes sense. That's hilarious. Comedy is big in Texas. Um, People do a lot of stand up. Uh, so telling jokes is big. Hip hop obviously is big. From Houston and
Yeah.
Dallas, not too much in Austin. Austin is still kind of rock and roll to a degree, or live bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, there's the Formula One track is in Texas, so
Ooh.
there's a lot of race car drivers here, both
Would you say
domestic and
like
foreign.
cars in general is pretty big in Texas?
Yeah, Yeah, for sure. Not like
Or is it
when I
just like trucks and big cars?
yeah. So like, well, I haven't been to a car show in a while, but it used to be that that like Texas had a it's bagged and dropped, but not like foreign cars. Um, the
Gotcha.
bagged and well chopped topped like Cadillacs, Oldsmobiles. Like they have something called swingers, spokes. Like they Texas has a car culture that I think is different than California with lowriders. Um, and it's different than New York, but yeah, it's just a different car culture. Now, truck culture in Texas is obviously, it's the one, it's the biggest. There's no other state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, we have like the biggest 4x4s, the biggest wheels. Like it's truck culture in Texas is, I, I'm saying this, and now I know that this is probably a controversial thing to say that Texas has the biggest trucks, but I just think that that's just true. Like I don't think anybody can argue against it. Maybe someone's gonna argue against it, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, let's see.
Let's
I'd
see.
like to
Yeah.
see.
So, what do you think of the Tesla, the truck?
Oh, the Cybertruck is super cool.
Yeah.
I wish,
Oh, it's so sick.
I just don't know. Like, I don't know. I assume that it'll be different whenever it gets released
Yeah.
because it looks kind of like on the videos that I've seen. It looks kind of simple, like maybe too simple. Uh,
Yeah. Like a paint drawing.
yeah, it looks like they just haven't gotten it finished. Like all the other cars on the road. Maybe that's what they're going for is that it'll be
Yeah.
simple inside of it, everything. But I'd like to see some wood grain or something fancy
Yeah.
inside of it. But right now it kind of just looks like metal.
Right. Like a metal box.
Yeah,
I think it's cool what they're doing though, with
yeah,
like trying to like change up the whole game, not go like the same route
yeah,
as all the other trucks.
yeah. Did you see? You saw the other electric truck, right? That they were comparing it to. I don't. Can't remember.
Yeah.
It's called like Triton or something like that. I don't remember the
Yeah.
name off the top of my head, but like it looks more like a Ford truck. Um, and yeah, Cybertruck just looks super cool, and I like the idea of the power that it has and all of the towing capabilities. Um,
Yeah, it's so strong.
well, the number of people that ordered it is just bonkers. Like,
Yeah.
like I
It
mean
was
that's
it
a lot of
wasn't that
people.
expensive either for like a big truck.
Yeah, for like the overall cost of it, like that's not that much. My
Yeah, it was
parent,
like wasn't it like 40K?
yeah, I think that's the base model. I think it goes up to like 80K
Yeah.
for
You
the
can get the triple
triple, yeah.
motor.
But I mean, just to like, I mean that $100 doesn't mean anything, but
Yeah.
other than like, I've, I mean like, it just tells them how many they need to make, um,
Right.
which they're just gonna have to make a lot. Like I think I
Yeah.
don't know if somewhere I heard like they gotta make like 150 million or something like that. Like
Oh,
like 150 million
oh
people
my.
paid for it, so it came to like 1.5 billion dollars altogether.
And that's
But I mean
crazy. That's bonkers.
that number may be like a little bit inflated. Um,
Yeah, maybe.
I know that the day after Elon tweeted or something like that, there was 150,000 pre-orders, and then someone else came out with a 1.5 billion dollars in pre-orders. But uh, that's a crazy. It's nuts. And when I saw it, I was like, this is exactly like the flamethrower. Like
Yeah,
people are gonna
right.
go crazy about this. This is going off the
The
shelves. And I looked at
biggest
it and I was
thing.
like, man, should I put $100 in or should I keep that $100? And I was like, I'm gonna keep it because there's no way they don't make like they gotta make so many of those things. They're gonna make way too many of those things.
Oh yeah, probably.
They're gonna.
Did you
I don't know. I don't know.
did you see the four wheeler too?
Yeah, like the cyber
That one
ATV.
looked crazy.
I has it released yet? Can you buy it yet?
No, you
Yeah.
can't buy. I'm reading about it. I'm like, uh, uh, Tesla electric ATV to come as option for Cybertruck pickup,
Oh. Oh.
like a two-in-one deal. That's crazy.
That's nuts. Yeah. I wonder like I wonder if afterward you can buy it you can just buy it a la carte or whatever.
Yeah, I
Um
think it probably is. Oof.
I think it's cool that you can charge it this at the same time that you can charge the truck.
Yeah.
That's cool. Um
Yeah, I think the whole concept of like combining those two in like a package would sell a
you
lot.
know what's going to be crazy though? Do you have scooters in your town?
Yeah.
So like people are just going to be parking the ATVs everywhere. You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna be like a
Dude.
row of ATVs right next to
Oh,
the
I'd
front
get
of the
one.
door.
I'd save up for one.
Yeah, yeah. That's so
Have you
crazy.
seen the semi they made?
Yeah, has it even came out yet? I don't even know.
No, it's like, just like first looks. The inside of that thing.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, for a second I was like maybe I should just start driving semis when I grow up.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
thing that
yeah,
thing looked comfortable.
yeah.
Holy.
It it was they're kind of weird because the window is so big and the
Yeah.
you sit like in the front of it, like um it's just different, man. So many things are different uh
Yeah,
in the future, I
I'm trying to
guess.
figure out how fast it hits 60 the semi
The semi was,
because it was
I think it was, I think it was like 60 in like 6 seconds or something. Like it was also crazy.
yeah. Imagine having a semi hit 60 in freaking 6 seconds.
Yeah, yeah,
That
and
shouldn't be allowed. To be honest, that shouldn't be allowed.
yeah, I don't know. The world in 20 years is gonna be whole nother whole nother existence. Like,
Yeah. Do you think the
um,
world's gonna keep growing this fast?
yeah, for sure. I mean, unless they start to regulate everything to
Yeah.
slow things down, but um, I think that I wonder like I had this conversation on a different podcast on another person's one of my friends' podcasts, and we were talking about genetically engineered humans and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
nowadays, you can go and you can figure out genes like you want to have the selective blue eyes or like brunette hair, red hair. You can like choose
Yeah.
whatever you want. Like and essentially uh essentially what we were trying to figure out is like are are males or men are they going to even be needed in the future
True.
because
That's I didn't even think about that.
yeah, and it's like in vitro is something that's big in the world. Like here is where like that's where they people can like make sure that they're having a kid or whatever. But that's
Yeah.
gonna change, and then like on top of that, I was like, okay, well, the pushback of that's gonna be like, well, is anybody gonna be needed anymore? Because then they can just like create humans in like Matrix. Have you seen the Matrix before?
Right. I've
So
seen the first one, yeah.
so like now like they can do that. They can create uh like sheep and animals in artificial wombs. Like
Yeah, I've seen that. That thing's scary actually.
there's no telling if they haven't already done that with humans.
Yeah.
Like
I think
I don't know.
sports in about like 100 years will be extremely boring just because they'll make people that are maybe not in 100 years, maybe like 500. 600 years
Yeah.
because everyone will be so good that there's no like difference. It's pretty
Oh
much
yeah.
50-50 who wins.
Well, that's kind of like, have you ever like changed the stats on your like FIFA team or your
Yeah,
or whatever? Yeah, to where everybody's got 100%, even the
yeah.
big dude or whatever. Um,
Even the bench.
even the bench. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they just like it's not even fun. It's like
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Like
it'll
everybody
probably
has
happen
their
in gaming
place in
too.
that. You know.
Make
Um,
people like lightning fast with their mouse and keyboard and just do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about the future of traditional sports. I already know that there's like the thing about esports is like so much of the gaming world is match rigged.
Yeah,
So like there's like all these lawsuits happening, and uh the biggest lawsuits I see are in Australia or like New Zealand or that area, where the servers are rigged, so there's a lag for one team. So then,
and like
um,
CS:GO and stuff.
yeah, and CS:GO, and
CS:GO has always been sketchy though, hasn't it?
yeah, it's always been like kind of sketchy as far as that goes. But like, think about the companies like Blizzard, and if let's say one team is more marketable than another team, or
Right.
is starting to earn more revenue, they're gonna rig the matches. Like
Yeah,
they're definitely gonna give certain teams more chance to win because well, they make the most money. That's kind of like in certain ways, like that's the conspiracy behind why the New England Patriots win so much, is because
right.
they're like a profitable team, and the Dallas
Like
Cowboys
Tom Brady with Tom Brady and all that,
too.
right?
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady's so famous. Like, I
Yeah,
don't, unless you're talking about like Messi or Ronaldo, like
yeah,
the it's like those two guys. I mean, Beckham back in the day, but now it's like it's pretty much Ronaldo or
yeah,
Messi, and then Tom Brady, Jordan's, he's been, famous forever.
yeah.
LeBron, Kobe.
Steph Curry,
Yeah, but
all
even
of
Steph
that.
is like he's not as big as LeBron.
True.
On his
He
way,
had
but
1 year where he like the year he blew up. I think he had the most jerseys hit out of anyone in the NBA.
oh yeah. Hmm.
Do you think the Patriots made Tom Brady kiss his kid on the
What
just for publicity?
is this a is this something that just recently happened?
No, it was about a year ago. A video came out where he's like massaged, and his kid like runs in to show him some, and he's like, give Papa a kiss. And I mean, I get like kissing your kid on like the forehead or on like the cheek,
Yeah.
but they like kiss in the mouth, and for like an awkwardly like long amount of time, and it like blew up everywhere.
It's like a boy or a girl, like
A boy.
hmm.
Yeah, it was really. I got really uncomfortable
It could
when
be
I
for
watched
it
it.
could be for publicity, but then it might
Imagine the
be
media
you're
though.
Tom
So
Brady.
Tom,
Like you're Tom
yeah.
Brady. You're kissing whoever you want for like as long, like you're
Hey
freaking Tom
Tom,
Brady.
we'll give you like 5 million if you just kiss your kid on the lips and post it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one,
Yeah,
man.
and
That's
yeah,
like you know, I don't know if in Norway they have like as much gender like stuff going on, but everywhere in the United States, it's like all about gender, all about
right. Oh, it's growing in Norway. It's growing
really.
rapidly too. Yeah, like feminism and stuff.
Yeah.
but it's not even like feminists that like know like what they're talking about. It's more like feminism. Like I want to be part of this group that stands up for like my gender,
Yeah.
and it's not really like if you ask them questions about a certain stuff, they'll be like, "Oh, you're not a feminist. You're just like you're against our gender." I'm like, "No, I'm trying to like make you see like what you're standing for." I mean, I'm all for feminism, but not like the crazy feminism, you know?
Right. Like
'Cause there's always a limit to like stuff.
yeah, and do you know about the Epstein stuff here in America?
Yeah, the Epstein didn't kill himself stuff.
Yeah.
The meme
Yeah.
or
So,
what
like I
became a
mean in
meme, yeah.
general, like that's like I guess I guess like that's a hot topic. Uh just
Yeah,
in general, like the whole like what is the age of consent, like how old are you to be an adult, like all of that is
right.
kind of coming up into question because of it. um but then like come to the royal family in England stepping down, like that stuff is crazy.
Yeah, no, the world's changing extremely fast.
Everybody, like I was saying like this like the other day, I was like, you know every corner you turn around there's a camera, like and
True.
it's not always your camera. So it's like
Right.
you like my clients, like one of my clients, he he's so adamant about having the camera on him because he doesn't want to have one of those situations happen to him, like where someone says he did something but then they're you got to go to the like life is almost like a sport. You got to go to the replays, you know.
True.
check
That's
check the tape. you know.
write that down. That's a quote.
Yeah.
Life
Yeah.
is like a sport.
But
Go check
you
that.
can't
That's
throw the
crazy.
red
Yeah.
flag, or you can't throw, ask the refs,
Yeah, if you mess up, you get flagged real fast.
Yeah. Well, even if you
You
don't
know?
mess up, that's the thing. That's the whole thing.
True. Yeah.
So like, you gotta. How do you like? You gotta keep the camera on, just to save your face. But at the same time, like nowadays, I don't know what you know about deep fakes,
Oh, yeah, I'm all about it. I've heard a lot about it.
yeah, the
I've
with
seen the
these
deep fakes of like Donald Trump and like Obama and stuff. It's scary.
Yeah, and so like you may not even have done the thing that they say you did, but
Right.
they make a deep fake, and now what? Now what are you gonna do? You know,
Yeah.
you seem
I
like a people seem like they think you're a crazy person because like
right.
the normal person doesn't know about deep fakes, so they see this.
Imagine being a lawyer or a judge in the next like 4 years, 20 years.
Yeah,
That job get will get hard.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't even know if they train for that, like in the schools or whatever.
Yeah, no. I mean I think they're trying to keep up to date with like what's going on with all that stuff, but you know how like we've been watching this movie about discrimination against females back in the day
Yeah,
and how that like got taken into law and stuff. And I'm imagining that being like the same with technology in the future where the judges uh they try to like brush over some of the facts
yeah.
because of that stuff because they're not like up to date with that stuff. And I think there should more be more like younger judges just because I guess they get more of
Yeah,
what's going on.
that's a I think that's the the tale of time, man. Trying to get a young person who is experienced in the world,
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more complicated because as people become more like they spend most of their time in their house, or like the risks of going outside are are just getting worse and worse and worse.
True.
Um, you know, but even that being said, like depending upon where you live in the world, you could be in your house and it could be a war zone outside.
Yeah.
Um, Especially like in the Middle East and now in the East, and I
Yeah.
guess in some cases like in like northern. I mean, it's not that dangerous like from like like a gang violence or anything like that in Texas,
Yeah.
but up north and in Detroit and whatnot, that's like a Chicago. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
is like that's some shit. Like New York, yeah,
Yeah. Sketchy stuff.
yeah. Um, but I don't know. Like I don't know. I just kind of want to experience life, like and experience life in different places, like. Um, but you don't. In so many ways, you gotta just be careful. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, getting experience as the youth is difficult
Yeah.
because every single time you try something, someone's telling you like, "Oh, well, why did you do that?" Like I don't know. So figuring that out is like one of the biggest things. Like it seems like you know in the in the U.S. is such a big place. Like you can go to
Yeah.
different states and it's just like basically people just talk different, but they kind of live the same lives
Yeah.
in ways. But um, I think in Texas it's easy to get different types of experiences.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You
I
can
can
try
see that.
different things, but you don't have the like the hustle, of New York, or like the
Yeah.
the intelligence of like what's going on in San Francisco, with all of the computer companies and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the future to me looks like it looks younger, but it also looks like you got to just put in a lot more work. That's the way I
Oh
see it.
yeah.
Like you can't just back in the day it was based off of your family or like and even now it's kind of like based off of who you know. But
Right. Like socially.
in the future, it's just gonna be based off of just one person. Like
Yeah.
in so many ways, it's gonna be based off of like, are you capable of like what are you capable of doing like all together?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to have like certifications for everything. Like the person who has a certification to be a doctor, a helicopter pilot, a plane, can fly a plane, can do everything, and has the licenses for everything, then that makes
Yeah.
sense for like a judge or whatever.
Right. Yeah. No, I can definitely see that.
But now that's even now like they aren't held to that. They're not held to that kind of standard.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
I think that it'll be progress. Maybe it'll get younger. Maybe it'll get older even. I don't know.
true. No, I think what we're living in right now is actually pretty it's a pretty good time to grow
Yeah, well, at
up.
least a lot less, a lot easier for sure.
Oh
But I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
that's just like, I guess that's the tale of time though, like for sure. Like,
Right, right.
but the people who are, there's very little amount of people who are, exploring new things. Like back, our ancestors were like doing, going into the wilderness and
Yeah, you
or
can't
like
really do that right now.
that's not like I mean that doesn't mean anything anymore. Like
Yeah,
people go into the wilderness with cameras on them. Like it doesn't. They're not fighting. Like they
yeah,
may fight a bear or fight something, but they're not really like the the environment that we were messing with is not like there's not a lot of danger. It's all kind of it's all the
yeah,
danger is other humans like being negligent. That's about it.
yeah. You know, I get that. Yeah, but I think it's crazy though. Just talking about like discovering stuff is that we know more about like space than we do about like our ocean.
Yeah, that's true.
That scares me.
Yeah.
Like, how do we know more about space? Uh, a thing that keeps growing, that's infinite, and we know more about that than we do about our ocean that is practically right in front of our noses.
Yeah. Um hmm.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that can be answered by just going deep down.
Yeah, I saw some videos of a submarine in Antarctica. Um Someone was out, exploring, and they were dropping down like the lower shelf of a like of the water, and they were like looking at big octopuses and things like that, but
Yeah.
yeah, we don't really know too much. I mean, you have the Magic School Bus of videos from like when I was a kid of
Yeah.
like cartoons of like people going in and checking out what's under the water, and but then you see these movies of like giant octopus versus the Godzilla or something like that, like, and you don't know like Sharknado 3 or whatever, and yeah, there's no telling what's down in the depths of the
Right.
of the ocean, but like I think that we've always been uh, as humans, people who look to the skies. We have some like folklore about the water, but it's mainly like if you and
That's
I probably could
yeah.
put on our hands what what it is. Atlantis, Aquaman, like uh,
True.
Poseidon, like these things that we think about are kind of like it's like we could just name it off on a hand, like Loch Ness monster. Like
Yeah.
we can just like I can't, like everybody knows that. But then when you talk to someone about the sky, it's like, oh, have you heard about this new sky dragon that flew in? And it's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's people just look to the sky, like our eyes, we can see that to a degree, but when we look
yeah.
into like the water, we're like we are like there's the it's almost like it's at least from a folklore standpoint or like Greek mythology, it's looked down upon to ponder about the water because there's a folklore called about narcissism, and that because the water is reflective, it's like almost like deeper thought
Yeah.
is looked down upon. But then they're like, but if you look up, like it's a catch 22. Like you can,
Yeah.
you know, um, and I think it has to do with like if you look at the folklore of things and history. Um, Zeus was always regarded as being the favorite son of Kronos, and I'm not sure. I think I don't remember in Norse mythology what the translation is, but and Poseidon was always looked at like the second sun, you know.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of like, I don't know. It's all kind of like, it's all, you know. We may, I think we may just know just as much about the space as we know about the ocean, but you know, space just seems like a larger frontier. But you know, there are
Mm,
some people who argue that, you know, that our ocean or our world is flat, like all of this stuff, you know. So there's no
yeah.
telling. There's there's no way to know. Um, just I guess that's you know, that's the human experience. We get to just explore new things and do new stuff. And I
Right.
appreciate you calling into the show, man.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it's been great.
yeah, I didn't know
I was
anything.
looking for
I didn't
something to
really
do,
know
and
that much.
this was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to have you on the show again, and then we can talk about some other subjects. Maybe I can get some other folks from some other countries on here, and then we can just chop it up about that stuff. But
That'd be sick.
yeah, man, I didn't know anything about Norway really. I didn't know like
Oh,
lifestyle. Most people want to do facts and
cool.
quotes, but I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been great, dude.
yeah. Thank you for coming on our show. I'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah.
Take
Thanks,
it
man.
easy.
See ya.
Dope. That was cool.